afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday. Yes, it is Tuesday. You come back from vacation, it's hard to get it all.
And there's a holiday. And
it is, yeah.
But a lot of news today.
Busy show.
And here's what's making news on this Tuesday. The death toll continues to rise in a huge storm that continues to cause misery and delays.
We also see how a Madison high school basketball team managed to escape the Midwest when their flight to a Florida tournament was canceled.
And he's called the pride of Pewaukee. J.J. Watt makes a big announcement about his NFL career. Let's take a look outside. The sun wasn't quite so bright today, so felt a little chillier, but return of fall? What? Julian's in the backyard warming up.
That's right. It's going to be like late fall type of conditions once we get into our back end of this work week. But until then, definitely enjoy this winter-like weather, and the winds definitely have arrived for today. We're looking at gusts that have been between 20, close to 30 miles per hour throughout much of our afternoon. As we head into the rest of this evening, we're going to be having more of the same. As it's 22 miles per hour gusts here in Madison, 25 for Janesville, and about 31 for Monroe, and 21 in Platteville. Though we did have a lot of sun, it wasn't overly bright. We still have some clouds that lingered throughout most of today. Going into the rest of tonight's looking ahead, we will see cloud cover really start to build back as we go into the overnight hours, which is going to keep temperatures rather into the milder side for the overnights. It's going to be into the 20s for tonight as we lead into our Wednesday, which is going to be setting us up for a pretty solid day. Outside of that, though, 21 degrees is what we're going to fall for. Mostly cloudy, still going to be breezy. It won't be as cold as it was last night, with many temperatures around southern Wisconsin. Going to be into the lower to middle 20s, especially for Janesville and Platteville. It's starting to rise into the middle to upper 20s as we get into the overnight hours. Now, let's take a quick look at our traffic as of right now. Well, things are still moving along pretty swimmingly on our U.S. highways as of right now for 12 and 18. Along the belt line, though, eastbound, you can see, and east and westbound on the eastern side of the belt line are on the slower sides as of right now. So make sure that you're trying to find another route if you need to get somewhere quickly. Otherwise, expect delays. And then for the I-39, looking rather smooth. But we'll talk more about this warm-up coming in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Tens of thousands of air travelers are still facing delays and canceled flights as that huge winter storm continues to snarl air traffic. Luggage bags are piling up in airports, and much of the focus is on Southwest Airlines that canceled 3/4 of its flights yesterday. Madison Memorial boys basketball team were the latest victims of that nationwide airline cancellations.
When their flight to Florida for a basketball tournament was canceled by Southwest, they scrambled, and as our Andrew Banstra found out, made it just in time for tip-off. Andrew?
Each year, the Memorial High School boys basketball team flies to Florida for a tournament against the nation's top talent. This year, the 24-person group took a bus from Madison to Midway Airport at 5 a.m. on Monday for a 10:30 flight. TSA was a breeze. Things were going almost too well. Then 20 minutes before takeoff, Southwest canceled their flight. They were stranded in Chicago. The team sat in the airport for 10 hours, but then they found a bus just in the nick of time. With 20 hours to tip off, they headed south on a 16-hour bus ride.
We wanted to get down here for the boys because they wanted to really play. So that's why we tried to make it work. You know, we could have found 3 more games, but I think they really wanted to come. And I said, I got a lot of banquet talk now, so I got a lot of things to talk about at the banquet. A lot of stories. There'll be a lot of stories out of this.
Sam Mickelson, a junior on the team, told me squeezing his 6'7" frame onto the bus for 16 hours wasn't necessarily ideal, but he wouldn't have any other way, saying his team bonded, something he thinks will help them win the tournament. They're actually tipping off just about right now. Coach tells me they expected to arrive in Florida in the Villages with about 15 minutes to spare. He said his guys would be ready to go, though. At 6, I'll walk you through the team's entire 2-day whirlwind.
What a story they have to tell now, Andrew.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That dangerous winter storm is blamed for at least 55 deaths nationwide, more than half of them in Buffalo, New York.
Michael George has more on that and the travel snags still delaying flights and passengers.
cars litter the streets of Buffalo, where digging out from one of the worst storms to hit western New York is a days-long process. The wind and snow did some extreme damage, exposing people who live here to the freezing cold. At least 28 people have been killed in Buffalo so far.
We're pretty certain that there's going to be more deaths uncovered that we just cannot see at this point.
A driving ban is in effect to avoid situations like this one in Williamsville, New York, where fire trucks had to snake around abandoned vehicles just to respond to emergencies. Buffalo officials say those kinds of problems make the job of hauling snow and plowing streets even harder.
We're constantly going down a street and we think it's a snow drift or a snow pile, and it's actually a car buried underneath there.
The storm has forced flight delays and cancellations across the country, but none more than Southwest Airlines, which is still playing catch-up. Southwest scrapped more than 70% of its flights on Monday and more than 60% on Tuesday. The U.S. Department of Transportation is looking into the interruptions. The carrier says it's operating just over a third of its typical schedule in the next few days in order to move crews.
Cream of sugar?
This Southwest pilot handed out coffee and condolences to frustrated passengers in Baltimore. Luggage has piled up at baggage carousels, and passengers everywhere are running out of patience.
This whole situation is so stressful.
I'm 83 years old. I've traveled a lot of Christmases. This is the worst.
Winter weather is blamed for power outages in North Carolina, water problems in Mississippi and Oklahoma, and now a new storm system is dropping snow and rain down the length of the West Coast. Michael George, CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.
And some lawmakers are calling on Southwest to issue refunds.
The Supreme Court ruled today that Title 42, a Trump-era immigration policy that was implemented when the pandemic broke out to expel asylum seekers at the border, will remain in effect. The court voted 5-4 to grant an emergency request by 19 Republican state attorneys general. El Paso, Texas, meanwhile, has extended an emergency declaration as it struggles to accommodate the growing migrant population arriving daily. Many who are gathering at the border said they are coming in anticipation of the end of Title 42.
We've been working with uncertainty for the past 7 months, so we just go 1 week or 1 day at a time.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has been busing migrants out of Texas. A bus dropped off migrants outside of Vice President Kamala Harris's Washington residence in sub-freezing temperatures on Christmas Eve. The White House called it a cruel, dangerous, and shameful stunt. The governor's office responded saying the White House is full of a bunch of hypocrites.
Governor Tony Evers appointed Adam Payne to serve as the Secretary of the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. Payne will take over on January 3rd. He currently serves as County Administrator for Sheboygan County. Payne replaces former DNR head Preston Cole, who retired last month.
The co-leader of a plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been sentenced to 16 years in prison. Adam Fox's sentence is the longest of anyone convicted in the plot so far, though it's significantly shorter than the life sentence that prosecutors wanted. Fox and Barry Croft Jr. were convicted of conspiracy charges. They were accused of organizing a plot to whip up anti-government extremists just before the 2020 presidential election. The government said Fox urged recruits to take up arms and kidnap the governor.
Will be serving long term in prison. I don't know anyone who thinks that 16 years that they're serving is a short sentence. Responding to domestic terrorism plots has been a priority for the Department of Justice since its founding. We're going to continue to spare no expense to make sure we disrupt plots like these and bring those responsible and hold them accountable to the law.
A Wisconsin Dells man, Brian Higgins, is awaiting trial for providing support material in the kidnapping plot.
Health experts continue to issue warnings that COVID-19, the flu, and RSV will make a strong comeback in the end of this week, and the numbers will stay high into the first 2 weeks of January. All of it due to travel and holiday gatherings. COVID-19 remains a concern, with around 300 Americans dying each and every day. While experts predict that triple illnesses will infect an increased number of people in the new year, Dr. William Schaffner from Vanderbilt University is most concerned about the flu.
all of the travel, all the joyous reunions over the holidays, there will be many opportunities for this virus, this influenza virus, to be transmitted and spread even further.
All these respiratory illnesses are driving up demand for children's medicines, and some pharmacy shelves are now empty. Health experts say in a pinch, adult medication can sometimes be adapted for pediatric use. And we'll discuss both the spread of the illnesses and the shortage of medications later in this newscast with Dr. Jeff Potoff. Well, it's a little more than 5 hours to kick off for the Wisconsin Badgers in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix.
They'll face the Cowboys of Oklahoma State, and one of the Badgers' most famous players is calling it quits in the NFL. J.J. Watt, who terrorized quarterbacks as a Wisconsin Badger and was a star for the Houston Texans, is retiring. The Pewaukee native announced his decision this morning on Twitter, saying he had played his last ever home game. Watt said earlier this year he suffered atrial fibrillation and had to have his heart shocked back into rhythm. Watt spent 2 seasons with the Badgers and was part of the 2010 Rose Bowl team. The Texans selected Watt with the 11th pick in the first round of the 2011 NFL Draft. Watt has spent the past 2 seasons in Arizona, so don't be surprised to maybe see him at the Badger game tonight.
He'll probably be there.
He was there with his baby, Koa, with his son and his wife.
And I think the baby changed a lot of perspective on, I mean, his health now is the main concern.
Yes, that's
true. He wants to
true.
be around for his son.
Yeah, one of the greats. Hope we see him tonight.
Well, like the previous pandemic years, 2022 had its share of health concerns.
When we come back, a look at the health stories that made headlines in 2022. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Watching News 3 Now, live at 4. We asked people to give their honest feedback on how wrinkles around their eye area and under-eye puffiness looked after trying Tint and Tighten for the first time.
So with foundation, normally it just kind of, you just cover up and conceal things. But with Tint and Tighten, it actually changes the way the skin looks. The lines are actually gone. So you don't get any of that buildup within them and the creases that you normally would see when you wear foundation.
40s is a bit of a shocker for me because 40s, I noticed the skin under my eye is getting very loose. And then 50s hit, and I'm 54, and I really noticed the difference in the firmness of my skin here, and especially here. I'm glad there's products like Tint and Tighten out there so that I can just put this on and not worry about what I didn't do in my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s, and it looks like I always have. It's a pleasure, and it's actually a gift for anyone.
Tint and Tighten shrinks under-eye puffiness, smooths out wrinkles and fine lines around the eye area, and provides tinted coverage to hide dark circles and skin imperfections, making you look fresh and younger. Tint and Tighten is the only cosmetic that blends a beautiful tinted cream to cover uneven skin tone and dark circles with silicate technology that smooths out under-eye puffiness and wrinkles, making the skin around your eye area look flawless for up to 8 hours.
I will be turning 59 in June of this year. Using Tint and Tighten, for me, I'm actually very confident right now that my wrinkles won't be as obvious. It is giving me the support that I think reminds me that I'm at my best right now.
Finally, there's a tinted eye cream to cover dark circles and uneven skin tone. And since Tint and Tighten works in 10 minutes and lasts up to 8 hours, you can look your best without getting injections or fillers. Get beautiful, lightweight, tinted coverage, plus that smoother, younger, wrinkle-free look from years past in 10 minutes. A look that will make you feel beautiful and confident. Try it this new year for only $19.95. Plus, get free shipping and handling. Visit tintandtighten.com or call the number on your screen.
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867. Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
Welcome back. It's been almost a year since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
Months of fighting, blackouts, and the shorter days of winter have meant more darkness than usual in Ukrainian homes. So one artist decided to bring his own brand of brightness to Kyiv for the holidays. Jerry Hofstetter is known for projecting massive pictures onto mountains and monuments around the world. For Christmas this year, he went to Ukraine and, using his own generator, projected huge images of hope on buildings around the city. The colors of the Ukrainian flag, Christmas decorations, and peace doves. The fight for victory has become part of everyday life there, but for a short time this Christmas, light was brighter than the darkness of war.
Beautiful. Well, preparations for the 2023 Times Square New Year's Eve ball drop continue in New York City. Waterford crystals were installed on the 2023 Times Square New Year's Eve ball this morning. The first ball to lower on One Times Square was back in 1907, 3 years after the celebrations in Times Square began. This year's ball is covered with a total of 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles that vary in size and range in length from 4 3/4 inches to 5 3/4 inches per side. The crystals for 2023 represent various gifts: love, wisdom, happiness, goodwill, harmony, serenity, kindness, wonder, fortitude, and imagination. The ball is 12 feet in diameter and weighs nearly 12,000 pounds. Well, stocks closed mixed in a shortened trading week. The Dow Industrials gained 37 points, closing at 33,241. The tech-heavy NASDAQ lost 144 points, pulled down as the Tesla crash continues. The S&P 500 fell 15. From an outbreak of monkeypox to a new nationwide mental health hotline to babies getting the COVID vaccine.
Bradley Blackburn looks back at the top health stories of 2022.
The CDC eased COVID-19 guidelines in August. Among the changes, people exposed to an infected person no longer needed a quarantine. The CDC director also announced an agency overhaul after reviewing its COVID response.
I think our public health infrastructure in the country was not up to the task of handling this pandemic.
In May, the White House lowered flags to half staff to mark 1 million American deaths from the virus. But there was progress against the pandemic in 2022. Children under 5 and as young as 6 months old became eligible for the vaccine. A different respiratory virus called RSV surged in the fall in at least 36 states. At the same time, flu hospitalizations climbed to their highest level in a decade, leading health experts to warn of a so-called triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV over the holidays.
What happened is we had a 2.5-year window where nobody got anything, and so everybody is getting it at once.
As respiratory illnesses increased, there were shortages of amoxicillin, a common antibiotic used to treat secondary bacterial infections such as sore throats and ear infections. In August, the White House declared Mpox, recently known as monkeypox, a national public health emergency after thousands of Americans became infected with the virus.
It was one of the most painful experiences of my life.
2022 had the first case of polio in nearly a decade, and a 57-year-old man lived for 2 months after becoming the first person to receive a heart transplant from a pig.
He said, I don't want to die. And he said, if I do, maybe you'll learn something to help others.
The FDA proposed ending the sale of menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars in the U.S. The agency also ordered Juul to pull its e-cigarette products from the market, but the company is appealing the decision. A nationwide suicide and crisis lifeline launched with a 3-digit number, 988, to make it easier and faster for those in need to get help. Millions of Americans with mild to moderate hearing loss can now get hearing aids over the counter. And in November, Dr. Anthony Fauci spoke at the White House podium for the last time.
Every day for all of those years, I've given it everything that I have.
The man who became the face of the U.S. response to COVID announced over the summer he would step down as President Biden's chief medical advisor, as well as director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a post he's held for 38 years. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
As we say with all of these, what a year it has been. And tomorrow we'll take a look at all of the entertainment headlines of 2022. Next, the folks on our morning show have been taking a look back at some of their lighter moments of this past year.
That includes the best food and drinks Josh Sprider came across in the 608 early each day.
Of course, we're always eating here in the 608. I don't even know how to eat this thing. There's just so much going on. Returning champ Bubba.
Vanilla, you have.
Here we go. Here we go. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is the breakfast burrito.
So it's our brandy cocktail.
How do you say it? Cheddar is better?
They're all Gouda.
Here we go. Ooh. Eat the whole thing at once, or do you bite into it?
You can bite into it.
I've been waiting too long for this moment. We're going to dig into the pancakes here. That is fantastic. That is good. She's got a little technique here. Celebrating Dairy Month here in Wisconsin. Local ingredients are very, very important for what you guys do here at Culver's.
We wouldn't be what we are today without the dairy farmers who provide this awesome dairy that we use across our whole menu. I mean, it isn't just custard. We got a bunch of menu items that feature that.
Oh my gosh. Can't you hear the crunch of that? Like.
It is smothered in a tequila reaper sauce that we make here.
The Pie Day eating contest happening now here at Hubbard Avenue Diner.
Seashells, ground beef, and peppers, and onions, and garlic.
This is a simple creme brulee.
We kind of change it up. We put some cinnamon, some bitters.
Oh, for peeps' sake, guys, we're going to send it back to you there in that studio, don't you know?
That's why
Tough assignment, Josh.
That's why he works out so much.
Exactly. You gained no weight.
You can watch all of Josh's In the 608 features by going to channel3000.com.
There is an interactive map there. You can see all of the places Josh and photojournalist Mark Schilling have been across southern Wisconsin.
Well, still to come at 4, is your computer security protecting your valuable information?
When we come back, we'll find out ways to keep the hackers at bay. Consumer Reports has some advice coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year's Sale on now at Waunakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year!
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just scheduled my telehealth eye exam easily on their website. Once in store, a tech helps get me started and then pre-checks my eyes. See my eye on the screen? Then I have my telehealth eye exam virtually with a licensed optometrist on the TV.
Everything looks great, Kate. You're going to love your new prescription.
Ask us about our $59 eye exam. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our New Year's Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this New Year at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking. It works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This new year is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. So if under eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this new year and see that younger looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized New Year's Sale on now at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted furniture that's right for you.
Happy New Year! Well, take a look at this. A shop on the shores of Lake Michigan and Gills Rock along Green Bay is frozen solid after that massive storm that walloped much of the country. The shop, Simply Scandinavian, is covered in ice after high winds started on December 23rd, causing huge waves that covered it in water. The owner, Gretel Sanica, says there's a foot thick of ice on the building. She's worried about the weight of it all. But the shop has tough Nordic genes, she says. Hopefully this weekend's warmer weather will melt some of the ice.
That is a Wisconsin picture for you, isn't it?
Boy, that's cold.
Meanwhile, this happens every year. Mark and I love this story. It's raining iguanas in Florida. Don't worry, they're okay. What happens is when the thermometer goes below freezing in Florida, the iguanas fall out of the trees because they're cold-blooded and they can't hang on. It doesn't hurt them, though. Then once they thaw out, then the temps go back up, they wake back up and they run away. Isn't that something?
It's raining iguanas.
Mother Nature is fascinating, isn't it?
Well, as we await the firstborn babies of the new year, we have the top names of 2022 babies at St. Mary's Hospital, which had 2,000 births this year. They released their list today. Meritor's list, which had 4,600 newborns, came out last week, so we compared the two and came up with the most popular names, not necessarily in this order. For boys, Theodore, Henry, William, Jack, Leo.
And for girls, the top names were Eleanor, Olivia, Charlotte, Emma, and Nora. And for those of you who are wondering about Leah Lynchide's soon-to-arrive baby, we have not heard anything yet.
No.
People are stopping me in the grocery store asking me if we have any update, but the anticipation is killing us.
Well, it's killing her, right?
Yeah.
All right, no Julian or Susan or Mark on any of those lists.
No, that's okay. We're unique.
We're unique, right? All right.
Talking about the weather coming up, because we are going to be talking about milder temperatures, folks. A heat wave for Wisconsin is on the way. We'll talk about this coming up after the break.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
I don't
It's Globetrotter game time. Get ready for the Harlem Globetrotters 2023 World Tour. Presented by Jersey Mike Subs. All new, non-stop action, amazing basketball skills, 4-point shots, high-flying dunks, and more. Get tickets for the whole family, where you can be part of the action. Playing Alliant Energy Center on December 30th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Now, the heat wave that we were talking about, well, it may as well be one, because we're going to see temperatures finally rise above seasonable for the upper Midwest and eastern side of the United States over the next several days. And it's really going to begin once we get into our Wednesday, but the best time to really see that warmth is going to be for Thursday. So here's our 3 things we'll need to know. We're looking at breezier conditions for the next few days, especially as we eclipse going into the new year. But temperatures will start to be in the upper 30s going into tomorrow, and in 40s, going to be bouncing back and forth throughout the rest of the week and going into the new year as well. We do have a couple opportunities with that warmer air starting to lift into the upper Midwest that could bring in some shower chances, but we're not looking for a washout. It's mainly going to be very small opportunities. Now, we did have the lake that had completely froze over here, Lake Mendota, so just a reminder of our lake ice checks. Make sure that you do have a friend and a buddy to make sure that you could be safe. And on top of it, once we are looking at the warmer air over the next couple of days, we will start to see that thickness lower, so be mindful of that as well and avoid any areas that seem a bit thin. Now, as we take a look at our radar, all the snow is into the far northern side of Wisconsin and over towards Lake Superior. So we're looking at dry conditions, and it's going to be like that at least for the next day. Tonight's temperatures are going to actually be much nicer than they were last night's, but still below freezing. 21 degrees. Now, mind you, Madison's going to see its low this evening, around 21 degrees, and then we're going to slide into the middle 20s overnight by the time we get into our Wednesday morning. But areas like Janesville and Platteville will be into the mid-20s as well, and planning out tomorrow, upper 30s and close to 40-degree temperatures is what we're all going to be seeing, but on top of it, breezy and cloudy, so expect tomorrow at least be rather nice, but not a lot of sunshine is going to be on tap. Now, the breezy conditions will continue from tonight heading into the overnight hours. We are looking for some clearing, but then we're having that cloud cover build once again as we get into our Wednesday morning, and what we could see a bit of a sunrise around Madison, and the cloud cover in itself will start to build back once we get into our Wednesday evening for us. And on top of it, we are looking at those temperatures to be into the upper 30s and stabilize into the overnight as well. So we're looking at our low to be around 35 degrees heading into our Thursday overnight. And then as we transition into Thursday morning, well, we're not waking up for the first time in a while below freezing. Temperatures will rise into the middle 40s by the time we get into our Thursday afternoon and the evening commute. But around the evening commute, we could see a couple of showers, but they're really going to be light rain showers for us throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Now, outside of that, we are looking for those winds to be pretty stable into the lower 20s, mid-20s, and near 30 miles per hour from tonight's going into Wednesday morning and transitioning into our Thursday as well. So we expect things to be rather breezy, and we could still see some of those wind chills heading into much of the overnight hours and for our early mornings. But temperatures are going to be on the up and up for the next few days, especially once we get into Thursday, which is looking to be one of the warmer days for us here in southern Wisconsin, into the upper 40s, and some areas could could even see close to 50 degrees. Now here's a look at our 10-day forecast starting for tomorrow. Again, is going to be one of the better days that we've had in the last while. Upper 30s, though we are going to be seeing some cloud cover that's going to be back and forth throughout much of the day. We are going to start to have a couple of opportunities for some showers, but with the warmer temperatures and the colder overnight, some morning fog welcoming us onto our Thursday morning. Then let's go ahead into the weekend. We're all excited to ring in the new year. The temperatures are actually going to be rather nice as well. Might see an overnight shower, but we're not looking for it to be too wet. Maybe on the damp side as we get into the new year.
The lows are above freezing.
The lows are above freezing. Isn't that crazy? That's why I called it a heat wave for Wisconsin.
Yeah,
this is not normal.
Yeah, no, it's not normal.
No, not at all.
We'll take it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy this one.
All right, Julian, thank you. Well, not being allowed to travel during the pandemic created a thirst for once-in-a-lifetime trips once restrictions were lifted.
Those trips sometimes include bucket list hotels and extra special rooms at the properties.
Wendy Gillette reports from some of the more unique offerings around the world.
For some, a bucket list hotel room in the Maldives means a bubble. If the turquoise waters of the Indian Ocean and overwater pools and villas aren't special enough at Finaloo Resort, add on a night in the beach bubble tent, which has all the comforts of home. Inside a bubble on a private beach. The $1,000 a night stay includes beachside meals served by a butler.
If Mother Nature allowed us, it would be booked really probably about 350 days out of 365.
If space is more your idea of paradise in the Maldives, Vela Private Island offers a standalone overwater villa accessible only by boat, known as the Romantic Residence, with a little beach, big pool, gym, jacuzzi, spa, and several areas for eating, including a gazebo on a floating jetty. It's so special, stars stay here for rates starting at $7 grand a night. Eye-popping prices, but these days, even many of us non-celebs are opting for upgrades.
What we're seeing now is that people are actually wanting to get better rooms. So they want the best hotel, but now instead of the entry-level rooms, they're wanting the suites.
There's no traditional suite at Lion Sands Ivory Lodge and Kruger National Park in northeast South Africa, but there are treehouse rooms. Beds overlook the bush. The tree houses have running water but no lights, only lanterns to immerse yourself in nature for around $240 a person, plus the cost of a regular room, in case the late-night roars prove too scary.
Lion Sands has 3 of these tree houses. They're sold out most nights of the year.
We got special rates at these hotels. Heading down south to wine country, a stay at Babylon Storn gives you views like this from the porch of your cottage. At this working farm, take a bath here and pretend this is your kitchen. Another item on the bucket list. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
She has the best job ever.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go is right.
We can also visit, what is this? Babylon Storn?
Babylon Storn. It's a South African wine country for the day for wine tasting, tours, or meals.
Okay, we'll do that instead.
Sure.
All right, coming up next, keeping your computer healthy when you go online.
And then coming up next hour at 5, keeping yourself healthy. Why there's been an explosion in so many new gyms in the Madison area. We'll have that story at 5.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Did you know that Wisconsin Vision offers telehealth eye exams? I just scheduled my telehealth eye exam easily on their website. Once in store, a tech helps get me started and then pre-checks my eyes. See my eye on the screen? Then I have my telehealth eye exam virtually with a licensed optometrist on the TV.
Everything looks great, Kate. You're going to love your new prescription.
Ask us about our $59 eye exam. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Add character from floor to ceiling with help from Menards. Upgrade your home today with Shaw Flooring.
From soft and luxurious carpet to durable laminate flooring or waterproof vinyl plank, save big on Shaw Flooring. Find your style with Patriot Lighting. Ceiling fans make a beautiful addition to any room while helping you save on energy costs year-round. Save big money on Patriot Lighting ceiling fans right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Jose was seriously injured when he was hit by a semi-truck.
Google Law Office did a great job at staying in touch with me. Every time I called, they had a response for me. Every time I needed something, they had an answer. They're very much helpful. Their communication is great. Everybody's really nice. You know what they say? One call, that's all. That's literally all I did. And I would recommend them to anybody.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
The Gruber Law Offices did a great thing. My voice was heard.
We all love reading the magazine, but did you know there's additional exclusive Madison Magazine content here on channel3000.com? Click on Madison Magazine for timely food stories and blogs on the local food scene that don't appear in the magazine. Find arts and entertainment and interesting Madisonians. There are featured columnists and online extras like photo galleries and videos. Channel 3000 and Madison Magazine. Together, they're your one source for all things Madison.
New at 5, a local high school basketball team races against the clock to make a tournament tip-off in Florida. We followed them along on their journey after their flight was canceled.
And we are looking at some warmer weather on the way, especially once we get into our Wednesday. We'll be breaking down the 3 things that you'll need to know ahead of the new year coming up tonight at 5.
And ahead at 6, the new year means New Year's fitness resolutions and packed gyms, how COVID has changed that annual tradition. On News 3 now at 6.
Here's a live look downtown Madison. Lake Mendota freezing over, I guess. What are we looking at?
I know. Sorry, I was trying to figure out exactly what we're looking at there, but boy, look at that sunset.
Yeah. Shortest days of the year.
Yep.
Well, over the years, people have looked to various tools to try to stay safer online.
Including antivirus software or virtual private networks. They're known as VPNs.
But be careful, as Consumer Reports explains, the false sense of security you get from some VPNs could actually leave you less safe online.
We'll start with the basics. A VPN is a software service that routes data to and from your computer or smartphone through an encrypted tunnel. It's something Elias Huerta has been using for several months.
The number one reason that I got a VPN was to feel safer online in public places.
Sounds great, but testing by Consumer Reports reveals many VPNs don't live up to their claims.
When you are using a VPN, you are actually giving a VPN your data, and so there's a false sense of security where that VPN is able to access and use your data as they see fit.
CR's tests included a check to see whether best security practices were used, whether data was leaked, and what the VPN's privacy policy said about how customers' personal data might be used. Of the 16 VPNs tested, 3 came out on top: Mulvad VPN AB, iVPN, and Mozilla VPN.
These 3 VPNs did the best because they limited data sharing, they had accurate marketing messages, they included third-party audits of their programs, and they had open source code and modern protocols.
When shopping around, CR says be very wary of any VPN that promises to provide complete anonymity online or to protect you from all advertisers, governments, or criminals online, or ones that offer military-grade encryption, which doesn't actually mean anything.
Consumer Reports also says not everyone needs a VPN.
One can offer you some protection if you're using the free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop or the airport, for example, but it's not necessary if you're on a trusted network at home or work.
When we come back, well, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wait and see.
Attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms.
If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
What's the matter, hon?
There's nothing to do.
You should check out Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home with a 95% average payout.
And with so many slot machines, there's a game for every kind of player.
They're right, honey. And with new promotions and reward club perks all the time, there are more ways to win than ever before. Find your fun and visit Ho Chunk Gaming Madison today.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Now, what is happening?
And an update on our traffic, starting things off with our traffic cam. This is on US 12 and 18 as of right now, moving rather swimmingly as we continue throughout the rest of the evening hours, closing into the 5 o'clock rush hour as we go into the rest of our Tuesday. Though we do still have some slow spots on the belt line as we transition over to what we're seeing as of right now. East and westbound, there's a disabled vehicle on the ramp, which has slow traffic as well, especially if you're heading eastbound onto the belt line. So expect some delays throughout the rest of your commutes, especially as we close into the 5 o'clock rush hour. Outside of that, residential roads are rather still what they would be like around this time of day, but really it's just the belt line that's on the slower side. Taking a look over towards I-39, still smooth as butter as we continue throughout the rest of these evening commutes. And just kind of breaking things down for us, from Janesville to the belt line, we're at 25 minutes. Sauk City to Middleton, about 17, and some Prairie to downtown's about 19. So it's rather normal for those areas and getting from point A to point B. But still, the belt line, once again, expect some delays, especially if you're heading eastbound. It's going to do it for traffic. Let's send it over to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. Snow days are exciting for the giant pandas at this Chinese Panda Research Center. Winter is the most active time for these adorable creatures. They love the cold. The pandas took advantage of the winter wonderland and were found wrestling, rolling around on the ground, and sliding down a slope.
They're so fun to watch. They just make you happy.
They love this.
I know, they're like little kids. It's so cute.
All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867.
Introducing Sass, Sauce and Shells, a bold new restaurant on Madison's Capitol Square, combining the best of barbecue and shelled seafood by Chef Joe Perkins. Add a little sass to your lunch or dinner plans today. Open 7 days a week.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat.
My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-803-2714 or go to sonobello.com.
Flight delays won't keep a local basketball team off the court. We follow them on a long journey for a holiday tournament in Florida. And from the big red wave that wasn't to Donald Trump's influence, News 3 Now recaps the year that was in politics. It's coming up at 5.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind. Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
And to recap, we're going to be dealing with some breezy conditions overnight into Wednesday, and Thursday is not out of the ballpark either. So expect those breezy winds, but with it, we are also going to be seeing temperatures on the up and up. Typically around this time of year for us, as we're closing out of December, going into January, is typically into the upper 20s and sliding into the mid-20s for our daytime highs. We're going to be well above that starting for Wednesday. Run to the upper 30s and then even upper 40s by the time we get into Thursday, which would be one of the warmest days heading into the rest of December and going into our January as well. Then we're going to be bouncing back and forth from the low 40s to the upper 30s. So folks, we are looking for a Wisconsin heat wave, which I'm sure all of us would enjoy a little bit of. It's just a break from the cold. But we'll talk more about what else to expect coming up at 5.
All right, Julian, thank you. Well, Russia's invasion of Ukraine topped world headlines in 2022, and the world says goodbye to Britain's Queen Elizabeth.
Ian Lee takes a look back at the international stories that shaped our world this year.
War engulfed Eastern Europe when Russia invaded Ukraine in February. Millions of refugees fled their homes, while the fighting killed tens of thousands on both sides, including thousands of Ukrainian civilians. The conflict also triggered an energy crisis because of the world's dependence on Russia's oil and gas. Russia released American basketball star Brittany Griner in a high-stakes prisoner swap with the U.S. She was serving 9 years for bringing cannabis oil into the country, but the White House released Russian arms dealer Viktor Buch from a U.S. prison in exchange for her freedom. A U.S. drone strike in Afghanistan killed al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri, who had taken over after the killing of Osama bin Laden.
Justice has been delivered.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un vowed to build the world's most powerful nuclear force as the country tested an unprecedented number of missiles, heightening tensions on the Korean peninsula. Japan's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated during a political speech. Police arrested the suspected shooter on the spot, who used a homemade gun in the killing. The Beijing Olympics went ahead, but with all the masks and COVID testing, it was far from the usual Winter Games. Later in the year, China lifted its most severe restrictions after its zero-COVID strategy led to landmark protests in major cities. With tensions rising in the Holy Land, 2022 proved to be one of the deadliest years for Palestinians in the West Bank. Around 150 Palestinians were killed, along with more than 24 Israelis. An Israeli soldier killed American journalist Shireen Abu Akleh, prompting the FBI to open an investigation. In Iran, the death of a young woman in custody for breaking the country's dress code led to a deadly government crackdown on protesters. Queen Elizabeth celebrated 70 years on the British throne in June and died 3 months later. The monarch's funeral drew foreign leaders from around the world. Political turmoil in the UK led to a string of new prime ministers, which ushered in Britain's first leader of color, Rishi Sunak. Sunak joined President Biden and other world leaders in Egypt for the COP27 climate conference in November, where countries agreed to create a fund to support nations most vulnerable to climate disasters. And Mother Nature put on quite a show in 2022. The most powerful volcano in 140 years erupted off the coast of Tonga, while the land of fire and ice drew thousands of tourists as lava gushed from one of Iceland's 32 volcanoes. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
That makes your head spin, all the things that happened one year. 2022 also brought devastating, deadly floods to Pakistan, putting a third of the country underwater, causing about $15 billion worth of damage. And tomorrow, here on Live at 4, we'll get some advice on keeping those New Year's resolutions.
We'll also preview the Kennedy Center Honors broadcast. The honors are given to those who contribute to American culture. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Happy holidays from our Dwellings family to yours.
Happy holidays.
It's the Planet Fitness You Can Still Join a Gym in 2022 sale. Now through December 30th. Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, and you can still do that thing you said you do 11.5 months ago. All with no commitment, cancel anytime. Get tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. It's not too late. This can still be your year. Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and pay nothing until January 17th. Hurry, deal ends Friday, December 30th.
You are a friend, a neighbor, a family at heart. We are Gruber Law Offices, your ally and your advocate. Trucking accidents can be catastrophic, resulting in extreme property damage, life-threatening injuries, and even death. You need Gruber Law Offices to fight for you, and we'll fight because we care. You can get the help you need because we are Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers, and while prices rise, ours are dropping. Get unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and save up to half on your wireless. Add extra lines anytime for just $15 each. Call or go online.
Memories matter. This bend on Cox Hollow Lake was one of Dad's favorite fishing holes. Crest Funeral and Cremation Service helped us make sure he's never forgotten. Making it personal. It's how you heal. We are Crest. We truly believe your memories matter.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Life in the 608 is all about how you live it, and there's plenty of inspiration.
This is just an idea that I rolled with.
I'm News 3 Now's Josh Spreiter. I'm visiting the people, places, and events that make this area one of a kind.
Who's the evil twin?
Tell me what inspires you, and it might be featured on News 3 Now this morning.
My motto is, do the change you want to see in the world.
In the 608, weekdays on News 3 Now this morning.
It doesn't get any better than this.
In today's Final Touch, a mountain miracle.
A group of skiers are lucky to be alive. It's what's being dubbed a Christmas miracle. 10 skiers have been found alive after a massive avalanche enveloped them on a snowy mountain in Austria on Christmas Day. Video was captured by skiers from a vantage point above the surreal incident, which swallowed up the downhill skiers. Rescuers initially feared the people were missing, but later reported that all 10 were found alive. 4 skiers were injured and were taken to local medical facilities. It's amazing that they lived through that. It's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.